Justin Trudeau is going to elect Kevin O'Leary.
I don't care. I don't care if they put a goat in running Canada. It's better than what we got right now.
They just hate you.
We are the richest country on earth, run by idiots. We desperately need a new prime minister. He has to step down.
Anyways, we got to get rid of him. He's had a great run over 9 years. Brought the country to its knees. Unbelievably bad management.
Can't help but blame Justin Trudeau for that. I feel so sorry for my country. Such weak leadership.
I'm so pissed.
It's just shameful. It's a real problem. I'm going to do my work. We're going to have to scrape all that crap out of there and start again.
Some of you have asked me what I think about Kevin O'Leary.
He doesn't have the experience of being either a diplomat or a manager of anything. And so we as Canadian taxpayers, citizens, suffer. He, in my view, is the worst manager Canada has ever had. The worst.
I mean, my goodness, you wouldn't put that guy in a candy store. They'll go bankrupt in the first 48 hours.
Just in case you didn't get it, he is the worst manager Canada's ever had. I mean, it's pretty frustrating. These policies that Trudeau is taking are becoming evident to every Canadian it's not working. And he's gone in the wrong direction. Here's a guy that's so poor in executional skills, in strategic skills, in any kind of vision and leadership, and if I may be critical, he has destroyed unity in Canada because he doesn't know what it means.
Trudeau is now a mouse in the kitchen running around. You see them just under your cabinetry. His own cabinet has a broom and they're trying to get him. They're going to get him. When asked for press interviews about policy, he smiled and said, sunny ways, days away. And when asked about anything about the economy, he said, sunny days, days away.
Richest country on earth per capita in terms of resources, run by idiots.
Let's go to foreign affairs. Free land, a disaster. Unmitigated disaster. Well, I've always said about Trudeau that he is the gift that just keeps on giving, because he is, in my view, not a good manager. That's what I've always had a problem with. It's so important that he is gone. Think about this. Canada is one of the wealthiest countries on earth, managed by some of the poorest managers you can hire. Boy, that's tough. He's done something very damaging to this country. And I've used a symbolic spatula to say what is really necessary. I'm going to make this spatula famous. I'm going to take this to Ottawa in 2019. I'm going to do my work. We're going to have to scrape all that crap out of there and start again. I don't care. I don't care if they put a goat in running Canada. It's better than what we got right now. I'm happy to put a goat in Parliament. And we just listen to that goat nay, yes or no. It's better than what we have right now. I do not disrespect him or his office, but it's very important that he is gone. Very, very important for Canadians. He promised them jobs. It's now clear they're still living in the basement. So all of those selfies and the work he wants to do in the United Nations and all the money he's giving away to other countries, clearly he doesn't care about those millennials anymore. He has to step down. Trudeau hates energy. Everybody knows that. He bought a pipeline and shut it down and has no ability or leadership skills to bring it back to life. I'm not calling an election anymore. I'm calling it an exorcism, because we're going to have to get rid of Butts and Trudeau and Morneau. They're a disaster for our country. Couldn't get anything done when he was a majority. They're very pissed at him, and so am I. He's completely unqualified to be the CEO of Canada, which is what the Prime Minister is. I'd like to apologize on behalf of all Canadians. We will be getting rid of Trudeau very shortly. Obviously, I want to show respect to the office of the Prime Minister, but I wouldn't hire him in any of my businesses, and the biggest business in Canada is Canada. Every Canadian should say, who did that to me? Justin Trudeau did that to you. He's not that good. That's the problem. They're going to get the mouse. The broom's going to hit the mouse soon. That's what's going to happen.
He's had a great run over 9 years. Brought the country to its knees. Unbelievably bad management.
The absolute worst.
You wouldn't put a journalist in that role, but that's what we have in Canada.
The worst manager.
Hey, if you're enjoying the content, please like the video, share with your friends, and hit the subscribe button down below. Thank you very much. It helps me out a lot.
Stay and back this weakened prime minister just for another 18 months to get a pension sickens me, and it should sicken every other Canadian taxpayer.
Well, you know.
I'm just saying categorically the worst management everywhere, and it's got to change. When you make your mandate diversity and not competency, you end up with a free land, a disaster for foreign policy in Canada.
We have a lot of inexperienced people running extremely large files.
That's beyond insane.
Okay,
That's just crazy. I mean, such harsh criticism, but it's the truth. That's the problem. I'm just speaking the truth, and it's even hard for me to say it. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. He's just a terrible manager.
We don't love you. Your guy came down here and pissed off every Egyptian. I didn't even know he did that.
What did he do?
I have no idea, but they wouldn't let me in the country.
I think he's in way over his head. I think Canadians are figuring that out now, and his mandate and his cabinet ministers are incredibly weak at what they do because they have no experience. It's so frustrating. It really is. Trudeau is weak in the sense he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
If you look at every metric in the G20, his lack of executional skills or any ability to implement policy has wiped out the country. In every metric, whether it's productivity, capital invested, debt per capita, anything you want to look at, we're now in the bottom quartile up in that country. Trudeau is the worst prime minister ever put in power.
The point is, try and hire people that have had success in leadership positions. Instead of just saying all that matters is diversity, no, that's not true. Executional excellence matters also. You want both. We don't have that in Canada.
How smart is that? I mean, she's an incompetent.
50% of the people, no matter who you are, hate you. They just hate you.
There is no one as bad as he's been. He said a lot of things, and he hasn't kept his promise. And
Very poor. I would rate his mandate as very poor.
I'm going to do it with this. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to scrape all those stupid policies out of Ottawa, and we're going to fix this country. I look at Trudeau. I look at Morneau. I look at Rachel Notley. I look at Kathleen Wynne. These are the worst outcomes we could have for our country. They're terrible at what they do. They have devastated our country. Every Canadian should say, who did that to me? Justin Trudeau did that to you. He's not that good. That's the problem.
This guy took a golden passport and turned it into shit. How could you possibly do that? He shouldn't ever go anywhere. Don't say anything. Don't go anywhere. Stay in a closet and be quiet for now, because you're killing the country.
I mean, they're going to get the mouse. The broom's going to hit the mouse soon. That's what's going to happen.
They can't wait to get rid of her and Trudeau.
He's had a great run over 9 years. He brought the country to its knees. Unbelievably bad management.
We can't get anything done. Who do you blame for that? There's only one person, Justin Trudeau. And we are the richest country on earth run by idiots.
I don't even know why they're pissed at us. I have to use my Irish passport to go to a wedding, and I'm so pissed.
I wouldn't let him manage a candy store.
We need to get rid of Trudeau. I thank him for his service, and it's time to move on. I mean, they're going to get the mouse. The broom's going to hit the mouse soon. That's what's going to happen.
But
Don't worry.
Let's hope.
We're going to vote. We're going to vote him out of power. That was an absolutely abysmal performance.
He said he'd balance the books in 2019, and now we're talking about $1.5 trillion in Trudeau will never learn that in the next 36 months. I may get better in French, but he'll never get better at jobs. He's going to keep his mandate until October of 2021 for one singular reason. That's when all of his cabinet get pensions. They get a free ride for the rest of their lives on the back of Canadian taxpayers. They won't care about him after that. He'll lose control. Canada desperately needs new leadership.
And I'm just telling the truth here. It's very important that he move on. Very, very important.
We need to get them in like the Swiss do. We've made lots and lots of mistakes in the last 4 years, a lot of them in foreign affairs, and thank goodness they've replaced Freeland. She was the worst ever. Most people have begun to realize he is failing. And it's a horrible feeling for Canada. We need better people. We need better choice. And we desperately need a new prime minister, as evidenced by what's happening to our country.
You've been very public in your disdain for the prime minister now, Prime Minister Trudeau, that he's doing a horrible job, that he's making things worse.
They're going to get that little mouse pretty soon, and it's going to be great because it's going to open up Canada to bring back to international investors.
Swiss get great leaders. They don't get Trudeaus, they get real managers. He is one of the most successful politicians in history. He's been in that seat forever. He has zero executional skills. He is a horrible manager. He perhaps is the worst manager Canada's ever been under. He's a weak manager, in my opinion. A very successful politician, but a very, very weak manager. Trudeau will never garner a majority government again. Too much of the country doesn't like him. The absolute worst. It can't get worse. Canada has been destroyed.
Some of you have asked me what I think about Kevin O'Leary.
Canadians are better off putting their money into the U.S. than their own country because they have such poor leadership.
Anyways, we got to get rid of him.
Justin Trudeau is going to elect Kevin O'Leary. He just has to keep doing what he's doing. He's incompetent.
What did he do to us?
He totally played Trudeau and the foreign affairs minister like a fiddle and screwed the country.
We need to get rid of Trudeau.
You never spoken to Trudeau, have you?
No, I don't like that guy.
Absolutely a -10.
He's the worst prime minister the country's ever had.
Trudeau had his chance. He's got to go now. I thank him for his work, but boy, that guy should not be running Canada.
I can't say enough bad stuff. I spent a lot of time saying it.
If you're a Canadian citizen or an investor or a Canadian, taxpayer, you realize you just got snookered by a really smart guy and a really incompetent finance minister. It's not her fault. She's a journalist. She was never a diplomat. The poor woman. I feel sorry for her.
What he's going to do afterwards? Well, he won't be running any of my businesses, I'll tell you that.
Trudeau is at the end of his time.
I'm so pissed. He's just got to step aside. The damage, the abuse, the mismanagement, the incompetency. It's so important that he get out of there. Please leave us alone. Please leave.
He's hated by his own people. Canada has one of the best natural resource bases on Earth. It's one of the richest countries on Earth from a natural resource basis. It's managed by idiots.
He's just a horrible manager.
Trudeau's the worst manager in history of Canada. I've said that countless times. It's the end game now. It's very important that we get rid of him soon.
Very successful politician, incredibly weak manager.
And I spend a lot of my time explaining why he's so bad.
I mean no disrespect, but Canada is the richest country on Earth run by idiots. Trudeau, irrelevant. Doesn't matter. It's so important that Justin Trudeau be thanked for his service and then removed from office. We are such a wealthy country and we are so poorly managed. Very successful politician, no executional skills. It's just shameful. It's a real problem. He said a lot of things and he hasn't kept his promise. I think they're all terrible managers. Can't help but blame Justin Trudeau for that.
Staying in power that long with absolutely no executional skills is remarkable. It's just remarkable.